live from Studio 6B on a Monday night, February 10th, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Slick's going to be here to do some sports. Delgado's here to do some news. I'm here to just basically take up space tonight.
I'm laughing at the hat. Where'd the hat come from?
Well, because, I don't know, I didn't do my hair today. It looks just terrible.
Just put the hat back on then.
Yeah, let's put the hat back.
See if you can pull it down a little bit, too.
Shut up. Oh, God, it's amazing I'm even here. I'd like to thank Dr. Gary DiBenedetto for even getting me upright today as my stupid snowblower stopped working on Saturday. Thankfully, with only about 7% of the driveway left to do, it worked for 93% of it. And, of course, I said to myself, you better be careful shoveling because it's heavy. So I was as careful as I could.
Yeah, but...
And I came inside thinking I got the job done, and about an hour and a half later, I couldn't move.
Now, how much snow did you have? How big is your driveway? I've been to your place. The driveway isn't that big. Well, in terms of 93% being done, I figured you probably got the widest parts near the house. It was probably the part near the street that you had to finish, right?
No, I did that part first.
Oh.
Went straight down and did all the lower part, boom, 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 and then came up where it opens up where all the cars are parked.
Okay.
And I got some of it done, and then...
And kapooey.
Yeah, the stupid thing, I don't know if the gas line's dirty or the carburetor, who the hell knows?
It probably needs, you know what? It probably needs ball bearings.
Could be ball bearings. It's all ball bearings.
It's all ball bearings these days.
So I shoveled knowing that I had to be careful, and I thought I was, but... Oh my God! I could barely walk today when I got to his office.
I could see you barely walking around here.
I can barely walk now, but he at least got me upright where I'm here.
You kind of reminded me of a sloth commercial I think I saw yesterday.
Oh God! There's nothing worse than a bad back. And it's not only my back that hurts, my front hurts too. It hurts so bad. The whole thing hurts. So
my back, my front.
I couldn't even really revel. I went to a Super Bowl party. I was probably people must have thought, man, this guy's miserable at this party.
His team must be losing.
Yeah, I couldn't even revel in the fact that I nailed this thing about as much as you could nail something. I didn't even care. I was in so much pain yesterday. Couldn't even.
Damn.
I mean, even if you were in perfect health, there's no way to enjoy most of that show. The halftime show was just abysmal.
Oh, that was god awful.
Oh my God. I mean, I guess there was probably 30 kids at this Super Bowl party we were at. They were all down in the basement, and they had it on, and I heard them screaming when this guy came on. So I guess the kids are into his music,
right?
I couldn't understand. I mean, I know the one song there, the one song he played at the end that everybody was waiting to see if he was going to play because he's whatever in a lawsuit with Drake or some stupid whatever.
Right.
So I know that song, but all the other songs they played, I think it was pretty unanimous that everybody said those are the worst songs that he has. He's got much better songs than that.
And nobody could understand what he was saying.
I couldn't understand one word he said in any song other than "They ain't like us." That's
right.
it.
According to one of the guys I work with, who's fairly younger than I am, who appreciated the halftime show, he said it was a complete. The entire halftime show to him was a diss track to Drake. So if you're into the rap thing, you know what a diss track is. All those songs linked together created that ultimate diss track to Drake.
Well, I think he was more of a diss track to us, America. I think that's what it was more of because it was just putrid. It was just god awful. Even the song I knew, it was just whatever. Serena Williams, there was some big thing behiund her being there
because again,
or something.
Yes, Drake used to date her.
Oh God,
so
who cares?
It was a matter of him ushering her out.
How about Swiftie getting booed there at the beginning? That was pretty good.
That was pretty funny.
That was great.
Yeah.
President got a nice reception during the anthem.
Did
they ever show him again other than that?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
At least once, I believe.
Oh, they did show him one more time? Okay. By the way, I thought the guy who did the anthem did a fine job.
I thought the anthem and the pregame show I thought were excellent.
Yeah.
Halftime was like a music video that didn't need to be shown.
Wait, they showed what?
Said the halftime was like a music video.
Yeah.
It just didn't. It was a well done production, but it didn't fit the Super Bowl.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it was a well done production, other than the fact that there was not a white person to be found, and I don't care. I'm just saying, if it was, if it was Justin Timberlake again, without the Janet Jackson stuff happening, and he had no black people, I bet we would hear about it, but I don't know, maybe not. But I did notice that. And I did notice the guy with the Hamas flag running around.
Yeah, I saw
during
that.
his performance as well.
Like what was that all about?
They made it look like it wasn't part of it. I'm not totally convinced.
He was one of the backup dancers, and he snuck it in there and decided to do his own thing.
Decided to go rogue.
Yep.
Okay.
Did he get tackled?
He got arrested and hauled off.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, that's a plus.
Well, Jason Whitlock, who I always turn to in these kind of things because he's down with the culture and knows more about any of this than I ever will. He said that this was grooming of the American public right in front of our eyes, especially to the kids.
Grooming?
That's
what
the
sense?
words he used. I don't know why. He said grooming. He was not a big fan. As most people I've talked to or heard from were not big fans of the halftime show.
Yeah. Well, again, most people didn't understand what he was singing. Like they didn't understand the words.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't understand anything.
Yeah, that kind of makes it hard.
It kind of makes it hard to groom someone if they don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know why they just don't stick with like Morgan Wallen, Kenny Chesney, even Taylor Swift. I mean, everybody knows every one of her songs. The kids would enjoy that too. I mean, it is a family thing. Like appeal to the broadest audience you can, right? Like why niche it down into this one genre of music? Why not? Remember the days? I mean, I went back and watched it. I know Slick would be proud. I went back and saw the Prince one.
Yeah, the Prince one was great.
Which was fantastic. He hit all the big songs. Like, you got to hit the big songs.
Right.
Like, this thing got done, besides the fact that I thought it sucked. I didn't understand. Everybody was, the first thing I heard from everybody was like, wow, he's got way bigger songs than those, more popular songs than those ones. Why wouldn't you do those? Why are we talking about this still? Who cares?
I still don't know.
7 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the over. And the money line winner on the Eagles. Congratulations to me for picking all three of those. Delgado, what did you pick?
I picked the over.
Okay, congratulations.
I definitely picked the over.
Yeah.
I got the yellow Gatorade.
Yellow? Well, no, not according to the party I was at.
I was the only one that picked it. Yeah, that was yellow.
Yeah, they told me it was green.
No, but it's not green.
That was yellow.
That was yellow.
It was yellow, right?
Yeah.
How could you argue that's not? They're like, oh, no, there's no such thing as yellow Gatorade. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, it's lemon lime.
Yeah,
it's green.
Lemon lime. Duh.
This was the actual argument going on.
So I got that. I had the blowout part correct. I just had the wrong team blowing out the other team.
Yes. That would be a problem.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, well, you don't pick all the time, so that's
right. And I put about as much time into that pick as I did into today's show. So,
well, why you said you had a terrible weekend? Why?
I had a terrible weekend.
Why?
Because I was trying to get my car all weekend long.
Did you hurt your back?
No.
Well, then you didn't have as terrible a weekend as I did.
Yeah, I had a worse weekend. It started Friday. I was supposed to pick up my car Friday. Remember, I got my car, my new car, right? So
yes, you got hit.
It got backed into.
Yes.
Broken headlight. It's an electric vehicle. All right, so it's going to be a little more. It's going to be a little bit of an issue. Whatever. I gave the guy 2 weeks. He said 2 weeks, no problem. All right. This was almost 5 weeks ago.
Right.
I was supposed to pick this thing up almost 3 weeks ago.
Well, supply chains, come on.
Right.
Trump's fault.
So now he keeps putting me off. Finally, I'm just like, dude, I need my car Friday, no problem. Friday, text me. Friday, 5 o'clock. Friday, 5 o'clock. Okay, great. Friday, 5 o'clock comes around. Tomorrow, Saturday. I'm like, fine. I can do Saturday. You know what? Friday's a busy day anyway. I still got to come do the show, blah, 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 whatever. So Saturday comes. Now, Saturday's nice. Nice day out. Not much going on. Tells me 5 o'clock. I'm good. Text me back. 5:30. Hey, that's fine. You need an extra half hour. I'm good with that. 5:30 rolls around. I don't hear from him. I texted this guy 13 times. I heard nothing.
You have the car still?
Huh?
You have the car as of right now?
I just got it just before the show.
Okay.
This is Saturday. I spent 2 hours waiting on Saturday at his place.
Yeah. Because
he said he was going to be there. Didn't show up.
Well,
I go home.
Is this your first experience in dealing with car people?
No. I hate
like
collision guys. They always get you by the big balls, as they say on CNN.
Yeah.
And they don't let go. So then, today, texting him in the morning, nothing. Calling him in the morning, nothing. Finally, he calls me back.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, What is going on? I waited for you Saturday.
But this is what made for what you consider a horrible weekend?
Well, it started on Friday, and it's now Monday, and it's still going on.
Okay, but I mean...
Then I talked to the guy, and here's his excuse. You want to hear this one?
Yeah.
This is a great one. My phone died.
Yeah,
my phone died.
Again, this is like your first foray into dealing with car people?
My phone died.
Exactly. That's legit. I mean, I don't know, Delgado. It's like you're...
So then he texts me again. Then he says 5:30 today. 5:30? 5:30. 5:30?
Allison on that says Delgado has issues. I mean, that's
I don't have issues. Right. So then I get another text from him at 5 o'clock. 6:30.
You got the
6:30? Dude, I got to go to work. I need my car.
You have the car.
I just got it.
Okay, so you have the car. So come on.
Believe me, if it wasn't so aggravating, and then I get there to get the car at 6:30, the whole place is covered in snow. He can't open the gate to get the car out because the snow's piled up in front of the thing. He's got to come out with a shovel and start shoveling his own snow.
Okay. Well, it is what it is.
If it wasn't so infuriating, I would be. It was comedy. It was because I couldn't believe what I was doing.
Unfortunately, not for us on the show, but I'm glad it was for you. So.
I finally got the car.
Aaron, how did the audience do in picking the game?
Audience did much better than I think we expected. Everyone picked the Eagles except my dad. So
again, he did another over.
Well, there's a story there to get into.
5.
He's perfect.
And Aaron, well, this is what I don't understand about Aaron. I love Aaron. She does a fantastic job on everything she touches, other than you knew Dad was looking for a Kansas City Chief jersey, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said to me
No, we didn't actually talk about any of the picks before I came on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I knew he was going to pick them, but...
Oh, you did know?
Yeah, but we didn't really talk about it. He always picks the Chiefs.
And you still decided to roll that way on the show?
Yeah, unfortunately.
After you watched them go 0-5 in week 1?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Got it. All right. You picked the over, though, too, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good. And Slick had, Kansas City and under, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. How did he do with the props? Did he win any props?
I don't even.
Yeah, he did. He won 2 of his props. He won the Gatorade and he won first field goal.
Okay, good for him.
Did he really pick the yellow Gatorade?
Oh, no, he won. Oh, no, he won something else. Not
I was going to say, I was the only one that picked the yellow Gatorade.
All right, 13 past the hour. We'll get into the President of the United States. Every day is like a... I mean, we could just recap his Oval Office. He should start naming these like Oval Office fireside chats or something. Because every day you learn something, and they're brilliant. And he did another one tonight, and he made some news. We'll get into that when we get back live from Studio 6B.
Are we live in the chat tonight? Yes, we are. Hello, chatsters. It was a very frustrating weekend. That's all I'm going to say. Because all you want is your car back. I just wanted my car. That's it. No biggie. Let's go to the Rumble chat. Rumble. Here we go. Clicking on. I really should do this before the show starts. Now it tells me to sign in. What, are you kidding me? I'm always signed in. Or is this a new thing? Did I do something wrong? Oh, it's not remembering me. No. I think he wrote it down. LSU, this is that. No, I don't think he wrote it here. This is this is for Thursday.
What are you looking for?
His other props. I can't sign in. This is weird.
Chat. What's going on, all of our friends? YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, Getter, Kick, wherever you're watching. Hello, everybody. Hello. Ticked off Patriot, what's going on?
Let me try the Twix chat.
Lisa says, is Delgado now having an awesome day? Not only got his car back, I think.
I will tomorrow.
Diane on Facebook says, really, Damon, you just whined for 15 minutes about your weekend, and Delgado was caring and compassionate, but he talks about his, and you brush him off like it's not important. You are amazing. Delgado, some of us care about
Thank you. Unlike selfish, narcissistic Damon, it's all about him.
Yeah.
It was me.
Damon doesn't want... Ba-da-da-da. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night, February 10th. Real America's Voice, glad you're in. Slick's going to do some sports. He'll be here in a little bit. He's got his Monday night chamber meeting tonight. President of the Chamber of Commerce for the last, 25 years? 30 years? 25
years. I think, what is it, does he do a 3-year term or a 4-year term?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think he does like a lifetime term because he just keeps reappointing himself, right? Didn't we figure this out?
Yeah, he's basically Putin. He's the Putin of the local.
He is like the Rick Slick Putin of Chamber of Commerce presidents.
Right.
Yes.
Has like 98% approval rating all the time. Every vote comes to him, and he counts the votes, I think, too.
And he actually, thinking about it, if you're him coming off that weekend after this oddsmaker's year, there might be a line where you just say, you know what, I'm just not showing up.
It could be.
Could be tonight.
I didn't hear from him.
I haven't either. It could be tonight. What do you, Aaron? It could be tonight.
Could be.
Could be. He just throws in the towel.
Because that's pretty much that's the end of the season. That's the end of his. He can't keep going back to last year I was so awesome.
Yeah, no, it's over.
It's over now.
It's over.
Now this becomes last year.
Right. This is what we remember of the sports guy.
Right.
Yeah. President Trump was in the Oval Office, and we'll work through some of this because we can't sit here and play the whole thing all the way down, but I want you to see as much of it as possible. I didn't even have a chance to see it.
Yeah, me either, because I was too busy trying to get my car.
He makes news every single day with these, and the press gets in there, and he takes 35 minutes of questions, and he says great stuff. He made some news tonight with what he says in here about the Hamas deal, which, again, I go back to when this deal was cut. We questioned this deal. And I think my exact words at the time were, this does not seem like a Trump deal. Like, this seems like a crappy Biden deal that him and his team were almost forced to swallow at the time. You remember?
Yeah,
you said this?
It was exactly what you said.
I think exactly my turn. This was not a Trump deal. He would not have left Americans behind, and I don't think he would have gone with this drip of getting hostages released. Mm-hmm. Well, tonight he sounds like he's decided that this deal is not a Trump deal, and he's not too fond of it. So we'll see if we can get to that. But here's the president from the Oval Office tonight on some executive orders and some things going on. Here it is.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. We have a lot of big signings, good signings, one in particular, which we'll save for the end. And I'll ask Will to go over these individually, and we can see how we do.
Yes, sir. First, for your review, we have 56 sub-cabinet level appointments. This includes probably most notably 7 ambassador appointments. Those will be the first ambassadors, I believe, that you've transmitted to the Senate.
Okay. And they're very good.
You got to listen to the comments throughout the each one of these.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Second, we have acting designations. We're actually designating Doug Collins to be the acting leader of both the Office of Special Counsel and the Office of Government Ethics.
You know Doug, everybody, I think? He was in charge of the fake impeachment hearings, remember? That I won very conclusively. Fake charges by the radical left Democrats. Okay.
Next, sir, the Federal Executive Institute is a program that was set up during the Johnson administration to train senior-level government bureaucrats. As you've identified repeatedly in the last few years, the senior levels of our federal government are not adequately serving as stewards of taxpayer dollars, so we're recommending zeroing out that program effectively.
We're actually getting rid of a few programs that are just a waste. Just really a waste.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have an executive order relating to the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. As you've repeatedly identified, the way that this act has been enforced over the years
I love Will Scharf, by the way.
has been devastating to American business opportunities and business competitiveness abroad. We are essentially ordering the Department of Justice to use its prosecutorial discretion in a way to ameliorate the negative effects of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, to allow Americans to do business abroad, and to allow our foreign partners to do business with Americans without fearing unjust prosecution.
And for those of you that know this, it turned out to be, it sounds good on paper, but in practicality, it's a disaster. It means that if an American goes over to a foreign country and starts doing business over there legally, legitimately, or otherwise, it's almost a guaranteed investigation, indictment, and nobody wants to do business with the Americans because of it. Nobody wants to do business. They say, look, we can deal with China. They can do whatever they want. We can deal with Russia. We can deal with anybody. And we have a normal life. You deal with America, the FBI gets over there. They don't investigate death and murders on the street in New York and Los Angeles. They go over and investigate a business guy trying to do business. So it made it very, very hard from a practical standpoint to make deals. They want to deal with the Americans, but they don't want to be under investigation every time they speak to an American, every time an American makes a phone call to somebody in a different country. It's a disaster for this country. And I guess it was a Jimmy Carter concept, and it sounds so good, but it's so bad. It hurts the country. And many, many deals are unable to be made because of it. Nobody wants to do business because they don't want to feel like every time they pick up a phone, they're going to jail. So we'll sign this, and it takes courage to sign it because you only get bad publicity when you sign it. It sounds so nice. The title is so lovely, but it's an absolutely horror show for America. So we're signing it because that's what we have to do to make it good. Okay, thank you. It's an important one. It's going to mean a lot more business for America. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next, this is an executive order relating to the use of paper straws. As you've consistently identified, nobody really likes paper straws.
Number one trending. Can you believe it? A paper straw was number one trending for 3 days or something.
The environmental impact of plastic straws versus paper straws is entirely unclear. This has cost both the government and private industry an absolute ton of money and left consumers all over the country wildly dissatisfied with their straws. So we're asking aspects of the federal government, federal departments and agencies to look at their existing procurement processes, and we're asking your Domestic Policy Council to look holistically at this issue to address it, and it really is something that affects ordinary Americans in their everyday lives.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation. So we're going back to plastic straws. I think it's okay. And I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a full and unconditional pardon for former Governor Rod Blagojevich of the state of Illinois.
Blago.
Good. It's my honor to do it. I've watched him. He was set up by a lot of bad people, some of the same people that I had to deal with. He wasn't quite as successful, but he had somebody that saw what was going on. I didn't know him other than I believe he was on The Apprentice for a little while. He was just a very nice person. He had a fantastic wife. She fought like hell to get him out. He was given a sentence of like 18 years, and it was a sort of a terrible injustice. They just were after him. They go after a lot of people. These are bad people, the other side. So I think he's just a very fine person. And this shouldn't have happened, and it shouldn't have happened to him. And let him have a normal life and let him go out and do what he has to do. So I'm signing this as a full pardon. Rod Blagojevich.
All right, so we'll pick it up there. We'll get back to this throughout the show. But some other news along that same aspect tonight with the New York City mayor.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's a done deal. So we'll get to that. We'll welcome Slick to the show when we get back. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B right after this.
Out of there. That's the problem. Very busy. Woo. You're back. I know. I feel you. I could feel it. You know how it is. When did that start? Were you shoveling snow? Oh,
Ding.
I'll take shoveling snow for $12.
You got it.
Don't you have a young, strapping son, or he was out there
That's what
helping
I
you?
said, but he was out.
He's busy.
He's out shoveling his girlfriend's driveway.
Oh my gosh. Just one that was heavy snow too, right? Yeah, I had we have a guy to shovel. I had to shovel like 3 shovels of snow after I cleared off my car last night to go out to watch the game.
It was like 1 inch. And I got a long
1 inch. What are you
Yeah,
smoking? 1 inch. This
It
guy's
was 1 inch.
Yeah. Yeah, you got something else 1 inch. I think the snow ain't 1 inch. That was
What did you think it was?
That was 4 to 5 inches.
It wasn't 4 to 5. What, are you out of your mind?
This guy.
That was an inch of snow.
Where did you find him? Delgado.
Dude, you probably fire up the
on my glass table out front. It was
to sweep your driveway.
It was like that.
That's not that.
That's not an inch. If that,
Fine,
that
maybe an inch and a half.
What are you looking at? That's an inch.
Maybe an inch and a half.
Maroon.
You guys are out of it. It wasn't that deep.
It was.
Well, did you at least salt your driveway the night before? Well, then that's part of your problem. My driveway was clear for the first hour and a half, almost 2 hours, because I salted the driveway. I'm not salting it, but I'm giving you advice for next time.
He's rubbing salt into your wound. That's what he's doing right now.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to salt it all, so when the first coating gets down there, it all melts away.
Oof, man, oh man.
And slowly, as the second coating starts to gather up, it's not as much. So then, when you get out there in the morning,
he's got his Morton salt shaker.
So when you shovel it, there's not much there.
Yeah, right. Stepped on a pop.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Rick Delgado's going to do some news. Coming up, we'll get back to the president in the Oval Office tonight because after the executive orders, he took some questions that were all good, and he gave great answers, and he made some news with pretty much an ultimatum to Israel and Hamas. So we'll get to that as well. But now the Slickster's here. Slick, welcome. How are you?
Doing good, Big D.
How was your meeting?
Very good, very good. Very busy. I heard I'm President Putin now. Is that true?
I don't know. Delgado said it.
Vladimir. Yep.
So,
long live the king.
Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow. LFSXP is the promo code to use at MyPillow. If you shop there, it'll give you a great savings. Use it at checkout. They sponsor sports. Slick, what's going on?
Well, I'm not even going to report on the Super Bowl other than the fact that it was.
What do you mean?
It was just a disaster, that game. Well, I mean, I'll get into it, but I'm not going to give the rundown of all the stats. Everybody knows what happened. The game was over pretty much in the middle of the second quarter. 24-0 at the half. Not much to say. Incredible halftime show, huh? No, but it was unbelievable. I mean, the Chiefs just felt like they never got off the bus. The offensive linemen, they never left the hotel, and couldn't get any protection. Mahomes couldn't get any traction. But you got to take your hats off. Nick Sirianni and the Eagles played a phenomenal game. From the beginning to the end, they just played excellent. I mean, the game was never in question. Pretty much once they went up, what was it, 10-0? The game was almost. You felt like it was over. The shift. I mean, Mahomes just couldn't get anything doing. 14 yards of offense going into the second half. 14 total yards of offense. That's incredible. They did put up some garbage points there at the end, but which, to the chagrin of some people, one of my friends, he lost a $60,000 box on that play. That last touchdown there. I was sitting with him. I thought we had it there. They say had the 6 and the 0, but what are you going to do? But it was, like I said, great game. I mean, hats off to Jalen Hurts, the MVP. Really a class act, the kid. Great guy. And they did well. Saquon Barkley was the only thing that they really could contain to a degree. He still got some numbers, but just a great performance by the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, but really not a great game for folks to watch. Really not. And the halftime show actually was in transit. I was leaving one event to go to another, and I just kind of heard the music, but I heard that the halftime show was kind of flat. And I get it. They're trying to show some diversity in music. They want to bring some different artists. I'm not a big fan of Kendrick Lamar. I only like one song he did back in 2017 called Love, which he didn't even play that song, not that I could have heard. But there was a protester with a Palestinian flag that ran on, who was one of the dancers, they confirmed, who ran through the field with the flag. So that was interesting. And then the theatrics weren't that great either, as far as usually there's pyrotechnics and all that going on. So how'd you guys? You guys enjoy the game, or what was your take?
Yeah, it was brutal.
It was terrible, right?
It was brutal.
Yeah, but you were on the picks. You had it. You read it. You saw the money. I got to give you credit.
I watched both teams play in the conference championship game. It was just clear to me that the Eagles were going to be the better team. They had better receivers. They had better offensive line, better defensive line. Not as good of a quarterback, but a quarterback that was going to be good enough to. Think about Jalen Hurts. I don't want to turn this into a sports show, but
no, we're doing sports.
I mean, from what happened at Alabama, he gets benched in the second half of the national championship game for Tua, transfers from Alabama to Oklahoma, and the road he has taken, gets to the Super Bowl, loses the first time, gets back there now to win it. Kid's an incredible story.
Incredible. Yep, and he's
he's taken.
His words are very measured when they interview him. He's not the typical, guy, bragging and full of himself. He's all about team. I heard his interview last night. So I take my hat off to him. The fans could still use a little work, I'll tell you. One of my friends was nice enough to send me a snapshot at the game of somebody holding up a sign that said, Dallas sucks. My friend goes, I'm glad we're always in their head. But it was pretty
Do you think
funny.
it's possible Mahomes had an injury in the first quarter?
Yes. I thought
early on.
He took
possible concussion that they let him go?
I thought he took a bad blow to the leg. I don't know about a concussion, but
it looked like he hit his head very early on, like second or third play of the game. He got sacked right away. It looked like he hit his head.
He looked
and I'm
fuzzy.
wondering if that's why he looked so disheveled the rest of the game. I mean, he had happy feet like Fred Astaire. I know the pressure was coming, but he just looked awkwardly uncomfortable.
I didn't see his post-game interview. Did you? I missed it. I didn't see it. Obviously, they're showing all the winning players.
And what happened to the commercials, by the way, in the Super Bowl?
Commercials was terrible.
They used to be so much fun to look forward to. They're so awful.
Right. Remember Career Builder, the Monkeys? They were the best, those guys. I mean, they had some great. The commercials weren't good at all last night. I agree with you. Really, not that great. So,
well, the Seal commercial was kind of funny.
Yeah,
that song has been in my head ever since.
Yeah.
right, what else in sports, Slick, besides
Well,
the
we're
game?
sticking with the Super Bowl, but we got here's the one from Navarro here. After Kendrick Lamar, Trump will ban black people from halftime. We're talking about this halftime thing. This is Pam Key of Breitbart. And Navarro joked to her co-host Monday on ABC's The View that President Donald Trump would sign an executive order banning black people from halftime after Sunday night's Super Bowl halftime show featuring Kendrick Lamar. Navarro said, I don't do sports. I don't do football, so I wasn't watching the game. But listen, I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. She added, because you remember last week we were talking about whether the NFL was capitulating to Trump by removing the term "end racism" from the end zone. Boy, did they not capitulate to Trump when I saw Samuel L. Jackson dressed as a black Uncle Sam introducing Kendrick Lamar, who then had like an entire formation of all black people making a U.S. flag. Listen, she continued, this much I know, all the black people on my feed were like, ooh, this is blackidity, black, and all the racists who somehow get in, man, were they hopping mad. So if the racists are mad, I'm happy as a clam. So not much to say there, but just the fact that performance was kind of a dud, to say the least. And of course, President Trump, he supports everyone. The over-under on President Trump was what, 2.5? I think they only showed him. How many times did they show him?
I think they said 2.
Did they show him 2? So you had to be 2.5. And on my prop bets, because I heard you guys as I was driving in, no, you had the yellow Gatorade, which was very good. You did. I had purple on that. With the 2 prop bets I had, Jake Elliott hit the first field goal with the Eagles, and then it was a softball. The other one was an easy one. That was Taylor Swift not getting proposed to. And I could have told you at halftime that definitely wasn't going to happen, even if there was a ring. And that's a wrap in sports. So I'm good to go, Delgado. Back to you.
Yeah, she had poopy face on for most of the game, right? Every time the couple times they cut to her, she was just like...
She didn't get much FaceTime either. No.
No, well, there was nothing going on.
No.
There was nothing for her to celebrate.
Was she sitting in the regular crowd? I don't even think she was in a suite.
No, she wasn't in a suite because they didn't have a suite to put her in, but she was up in the whatever.
Okay.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, My Pillow. Let's do some news, and here with that is Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. Delgado, what's going on?
All right, well, there's a story that broke late Friday, and it's out today as well in many different areas, asking the question, did Governor Josh Shapiro plot Donald Trump's Butler assassination attempt? According to a whistleblower, and these claims that they're making, the whistleblower supposedly is a former Pennsylvania state trooper with knowledge of the situation. A whistleblower has filed a criminal complaint alleging Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's involvement in the assassination attempt on President Trump's life in July of last year. The complaint also alleges the involvement of ex-FBI Director Christopher Wray and the Biden administration in the plot. An apparent whistleblower, according to social media reports, filed the complaint alleging Pennsylvania governor's involvement in this plot. As per screenshot shared on social media, I guess they have copies of the complaint that was filed. The reported criminal complaint was allegedly filed by a former Pennsylvania State Police employee and federal whistleblower, Asada Feinberg. According to this, on February 7th, they're saying we cannot verify the authenticity of the claim at the moment. As per the screenshot shared on social media, Feinberg alleged in the days leading up to the assassination attempt on July 13th in Butler, Shapiro and other government officials, including Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Parris and former FBI Director Christopher Wray, orchestrated the attack as part of a political scheme. Now, again, this is all just alleged. It's in a criminal complaint. It was filed on Friday. But it's definitely something that's starting to gain traction in terms of news. What did you guys think when you heard this?
I didn't even hear this till just now.
Really?
I've not seen this anywhere.
I've seen it a few different places.
I haven't heard it.
Again, it's starting to pick up steam because they are showing now pictures of the what do you call it? What do they file? The affidavit from the federal whistleblower. So again, it's one of those things where until I guess they start really looking into this, it's just kind of hold and wait. I guess the Dan Bongino protocol is wait, just hold for like 48 hours to see what happens with the story. But that's worth mentioning because it is worth mentioning.
That's quite the accusation.
It is, and again, it's from
especially coming into a Pam Bondi and Kash Patel administration. I mean. What is the blowback for someone making is there any I mean, what are the risks somebody takes of trying to create? Whether he created it or not, I guess we'll find out. Right. Of creating a story like this.
Well, they could definitely charge him or her, because it's a Pennsylvania State Police employee and whistleblower, Hadassah, and I don't know if that's male or female, Feinberg. So I'm sure they would be charged with making a false claim. This is a pretty big claim to try and lob out there.
Sure is. But
it's definitely something that's starting to gain some traction. So we'll see what happens. We'll pay attention with that. If there's more to this, I'm sure it'll explode. But that's all we have right now on it at this point. Speaking of things ready to explode, look to the Middle East as Trump says a ceasefire should be canceled if these hostages aren't released by Saturday. He said, if Hamas doesn't return all the hostages by noon on Saturday, the ceasefire should be called off. That's the word coming from President Trump after it was made known that the hostages, or at least the Hamas, have stopped releasing hostages. Trump made the comments after signing executive orders in the Oval Office earlier today. When asked if he felt the ceasefire deals should be canceled, President Trump said that is Israel's decision. If all Gaza hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 p.m., I would say cancel the ceasefire, he said in the Oval Office. Let all hell break out. Israel can override it. So there you have it.
Here is, since you're covering it, I guess we'll jump to it now. Here is the president in the Oval Office. We have the longer version of this press conference, but here's this specific part.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that be because that's Israel's decision. But as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out.
Yeah, and I suspect all hell will break out because I think that he is never liked to this deal because he's right there. You hear him say, he complains about one of the key tenets that we talked about when the deal was signed. Why would they sign this?
Right.
When they're giving up so much, releasing so many terrorists to get this drips and drabs. We may have even used those specific words of hostages released. And I said it doesn't sound like a Trump deal. It sounds like a crap Biden deal that he had to, him and the team had to swallow to try to get something done here. And so to hear him say, not just drips and drabs of through 2, 4, 6. I mean, they knew that was the deal when they signed off on this thing.
Right.
That's exactly what the release schedule said. So very interesting. He sounds fed up, as he should be. And I think Benjamin Netanyahu is fed up as well. So I would put my money on all hell is going to exactly break loose, if I had to guess. All right, more news. We'll wrap hour 1. We get back right after this, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night.
It sounds crazy. Hello, chat. It is crazy. No, it's on X. They have pictures of the affidavit and everything. Yeah.
Rock me. Chat. Talk to the chat.
I'm getting there.
I didn't see any super chats yet.
I've signed in.
I'm in the YouTubes. Sue Sabelborough says, Delgado. She's waving to you.
Ratchet over in Rumble, I believe he could be up for his confirmation vote. We're talking about Kash Patel this Thursday. Hopefully that happens. Ratchet, yes, hold. Yeah, believe me, I'm one to usually jump out over my skis and enjoy the view, but on that one, kind of. But then I'm looking at the affidavit, like, oh, this is legitimate. They're reporting it as a Pennsylvania State Police employee as well. Free USA 20. Howdy. Oh, Slick, you got to check your Truth Social messages. People are sending you messages they want you to check.
We'll lighten up Truth Social on Saturday about whatever on the show. But I do check Truth. I don't check it every day. I will check the Truth Social. Blissful. Love you, Ricks. Plural.
Ooh.
Nice.
Looks like Kennedy got another yes vote. Murkowski's a yes on Tulsi.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Slick's going to do some more sports. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. But right now, let's get back to the news. And here with the news is Rick Delgado. What else is going on, Delgado?
Well, we got a couple good news things coming out in terms of votes for some of President Trump's cabinet. Lisa Murkowski is reportedly ready to vote yes on Tulsi Gabbard. So that's a good one. I know somebody else that we were worried about. I've got to try and find it. I'll try and find it later. But I think RFK Jr. looks like he's moving closer to getting the votes that he needs.
Susan Collins, I think, said she's a yes on him.
Okay, that could be who I was thinking of. So you got that. And, of course, Kristi Noem is already out to work. And she's doing a bang-up job out there. Right now, this is cut number 5. Here she is talking about how they've taken over FEMA. And since Trump has taken over FEMA, they've resolved over 80% of the Hurricane Helene cases. Right now, I believe it was in North Carolina. Here's cut 5. Here she is talking about it. Kristi Noem.
The past 5 days, we've decreased the number of open cases by almost 80%. President Trump is ensuring that communities aren't forgotten, and he launched the first major initiative to connect farmers with recovery assistance as well. Today, I had the chance to spend some time with Mark, who's a micro farmer in this area, and to talk about some of the FEMA programs that he's been able to utilize that have been incredibly helpful.
Yeah, so there you have it. FEMA's actually doing the job they're supposed to be doing, which is helping the people who have been affected by Hurricane Helene. And if you remember, let's go back in time a little bit to just a few months back when Karine Jean-Pierre was talking about the disaster relief funds. Oui. And people were questioning how come people weren't getting them. And here she is talking about a cut number 2, and now we find out she was lying. Cut 2.
Oh, how a shock.
So, disaster relief, this is a falsehood. Disaster relief funds used on immigrants illegally in the U.S. The fact is, no money is being diverted from response needs. That's the fact.
Yeah, that's the fact. That was actually a lie. So, Karine Jean-Pierre factually lying to your face, to the American people, and of course, Kristi Noem, showing that once President
Pardon
Trump,
me.
right, once President Trump and the administration got in there and started to kind of wrangle FEMA around, now they've got FEMA actually doing what FEMA was set up to originally do, which is help people that have been displaced. So that's great to see, great to hear. Also, we've got, it turns out, according to CNN, and this must be tough for Karine Jean-Pierre and the former administration to listen to, and of course the raging Democrats, as CNN cut 3, Americans are actually approving of everything that Trump said he's going to do, and here it is. Here they are. It must pain them to say this. Cut number 3. Check this out.
You know, I think one of the things that's so important for politicians is for folks to believe what they're saying and that they're keeping their campaign promises. So I think this gives you a pretty gosh darn good idea of what may be going on. Trump's doing what he promised to do. You go back to April of 2017, it was just 46% of all Americans who said that Trump was doing what he promised to do. Compare that now to February of 2025. You know, there was a good show that was on during the 1990s called A Different World. That is what's going on right now. We're living in a different world. 70% of Americans say Trump is doing what he promised to do. Again, compare that to April of 2017 when it's just 46%. When Americans are 24 points more likely to say that you're doing what you promised to do, it's no wonder that your net approval rating is much more likely to be on the positive side of the ledger than on the negative side. And so far, what we're seeing, again, is Americans, 21 days so far, versus just 11 days during his entire first term, that Trump has a positive net approval rating. Quite a different world.
Yeah, quite a different world indeed. And again, it's it must be paining the people on the left, the mainstream media, the CNNs and the MSNBCs of the world to have to report that, hey, you know what? The American people are actually happy with the results they're seeing. And it's only been, 21 days, as he said, just 3 weeks in?
Just a quick 3 weeks.
And things are already happening.
It's amazing.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
3 weeks.
So, we'll do some more news in just a little bit. Let's kick it over to sports and Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. And, of course, save yourself a ton of money on some great stuff from Mike Lindell and MyPillow.com. Slick, what do you got for us?
All right, let's go to the NCAA men's basketball. Just 2 games tonight. One in action right now. Clemson leading North Carolina 77-55. 3 minutes to go there in the second half. 9 p.m. down in Houston, we have Baylor and Houston and a tip-off. That'd be number 6 Houston playing well this year. NBA action, just a couple of quick ones here. Cavaliers 97-76 over the Timberwolves. A minute to go there in the third. And tied at 78, the Hawks and the Magic. 2 to go there in the third as well. Spurs 100-95 over the Wizards. 1 second left in the third there. And at the half in Brooklyn, the Nets 61, Hornets 49. NHL be off for a little bit now. They got an 11-day break. The NHL All-Star game coming up. So no hockey scores, obviously. And last night, 40-22, Eagles taking care of business over the Chiefs. Just wanted to give you the final on the show in case you didn't know. Of course, just about everybody knows what happened there. And a couple of quick stories. Well, for one, Super Bowl. Listen to this one, Rick. Super Bowl projections. The Super Bowl averaged record 126 million U.S. viewers. This is an AP report. Fox Sports is projecting a Super Bowl record average audience of 126 million U.S. viewers across television and streaming platforms for Philadelphia's 40-22 victory over the Chiefs. The game was televised by Fox, Fox Deportes, and Telemundo, and streamed on Tubi, as well as the NFL's digital platforms. Fox projections Monday included Nielsen's early numbers and streaming data from Tubi and the NFL. Updated and more complete numbers were expected Tuesday. So a lot of folks did tune in. According to Fox, the audience peaked at 135.7 million in the second quarter, and just about 2 minutes later, it dropped down to about 7 viewers, of which they were probably the parents of the Philadelphia Eagle players. That's the only people that were watching that game pretty much at that point, because everybody was either having drinks or onto the food, because it wasn't much worth sticking around for, even for the halftime, as we heard earlier. So, wow, 126 million, not bad. And, Tiger Woods, he's not going to play at the Genesis Invitational, citing his mother's death. Mark Schleyback of ESPN. Tiger Woods says he's still processing his mother's death and won't play in this week's Genesis Invitational at Torrey Pines Golf Course at La Jolla, California. He announced on X Monday the Genesis Invitational, which benefits Woods' TGR Foundation, had announced on Friday that the 15-time major champion was in the field and intended to play. Thursday's opening round would have been 9 days since Woods' 80-year-old mother, Clotilda Woods, passed away. I plan to tee it up this week, but I'm just not ready, Woods said in a statement on X. I did my best to prepare, knowing it's that what my mom would have wanted, but I'm still processing her loss. Thanks to everyone who has reached out. I hope to be at Torrey later in the week and appreciate the continued kindness since my mom's passing. And we all know what that's like. Well, not all of us, but some of us know what that's like. Losing my dad just 2 months ago. In fact, it was 2 months ago this past weekend. Time stands still, and everybody takes different amount of time to process. And when you're in a limelight like that and being on a game, even being on the show, which is not like being Tiger Woods, obviously, but being on the show, you needed a couple of days. I wanted to come back right away, and I'm like, no, let me, out of that respect to them, processes everything, and that's what I did, and I see that's what Tiger's doing, and good for him. He loved his mom, and who doesn't love their mom?
Well, like you reported, that I guess she was just as important to him and his career as his dad. Everybody thought it was just his dad. Well, his dad was always the one that you saw out front, but she was the one inside, kind of the kind of the foundation on the inside of it.
Yep, she was, and he said she was his biggest fan, and I imagine that he was her biggest fan as well. So that's a wrap in sports, Rick. Back to you.
All right, very good, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Make sure you use our code LFS6 at checkout, and like you said, you get to save a lot of good money on a lot of good stuff coming from Mike Lindell and the people of MyPillow. We got a lot of breaking news as well. Again, we got more of the Donald Trump Oval Office executive orders. We'll be playing in just a little bit, and more on what's happening with the Democratic freakout. The Democrats are freaking out still, and now they're focusing, I guess, because they're looking at the Consumer Finance Protection agency. They're freaking out over that as well. We've got some Maxine Waters, some James Carville. We'll play it all for you. Coming up, hour number 2 is coming up live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. We'll be back. Stay there. We're live in the chat. That was a quick hour 1.
That was a quick. Of course, I missed half.
You missed half. Of course, it was fast for you.
It was quick. I listened to you guys on the radio.
Did you? How does it sound?
Well, I listened to you. No, you were on.
We're not on tonight.
No,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No, I listened to you on 103.9 another night that I was coming here late. It sounds phenomenal. You guys sounded great.
Did Damon get off the pot? Damon was lying on his side in his office, try to take the pressure off my back. It's just unbearable.
Someone wanted to know if you were using your 30th Amendment rights.
Oh, it's just, no, I wish.
Can you sit in one of those chairs?
Oh.
And we just point the camera at you over there?
No. No. Oh, so.
And yes, 6B Getter Chat, I do see you.
What does that mean, I see you? Are they talking
they
about
just
you?
wonder why no one's talking to them in that chat, so I thought I'd say hello.
Oh, the 6B Getter Chat. Oh, they're in here now, the 6B Getter Chat?
Well, we have our own stream on Getter.
We have our own,
outside of
right.
Rav, so they can hear us during the breaks.
That's right.
Did you see this one? 76-year-old Democrat Congressman John Larson suffers a medical episode while speaking on the House floor. He did a Mitch McConnell and froze for about a minute. They have it on C-SPAN.
Oh, really? Did a turtle?
Who's this?
John Larson.
Small plane crash there.
Yeah, 2 planes. I guess they were on the runway.
right, hour 2, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Brand new week started. Make sure you follow us on our social media at LFS6B pretty much everywhere. And, of course, head over to livefromstudio6b.com and make sure you sign up to be a member there as well, where you can find all of our past shows, all of our past clips, Crazy Towns, What Even Is That, all of our merch, everything over at livefromstudio6b.com. We'll get to some more sports. We'll get to some more news. But I want to get back to the president in the Oval Office tonight. He signed some executive orders, and then he took some questions and kind of got a little deeper into what he's feeling, especially when it comes to Israel and what's going on over there. So let's pick up here again. Is the President of the United States tonight from the Oval Office. Here's some of the question and answers.
Hamas is going to stop releasing Israeli hostages, and what was your reaction? I think it's terrible. Look, I looked at the hostages that came in, and they're emaciated. It looked like something out of the 1930s. It's an absolute disgrace. And I think they saw the way the world viewed it, and they're looking for a reason not to send more because they're all. You take a look at that. It looked like it was a concentration camp, which essentially it was. It looks like they came out of the Holocaust, and what a sad thing. One of them was a young man, good-looking guy, a little bit heavier than perhaps he could have been, and now he looks like he's not even recognizable. Not even recognizable.
Is the deal at risk of falling apart?
Look, I can tell you that those people have been badly hurt, both mentally and physically. I'm talking about the young women that came out also previously. And I think one of the reasons they're doing this is because they're probably sending the best. What you see is probably the best because they want to send people that look at least healthy. And that's not healthy. These people have been badly hurt. They've been interviewed by our representatives. They've been interviewed by Israeli representatives, and they're really hurting. They are really hurting mentally and physically. And I think Hamas is looking at that and saying, well, it's not going to get much better than that because they probably send out their best as a representative, and they've got more to send out, and they probably feel that they can't do that because it's not going to make them look very good.
Is the ceasefire over? Does it delay that, sir? Should the ceasefire then be off?
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision, but as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do. I mean, the one guy was laughing when a hostage he thought his family was alive, found out the family was dead, and his captor, so to speak, started laughing because he thought it was so funny. You know, this is a different group of people. No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it. But from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
Mr. President, in an interview this weekend, you said that Palestinians would not be guaranteed the right to return to Gaza.
Yeah, so just before we go on there, you can tell the president is extremely frustrated. I think he's been frustrated with this deal. Like I said from the start, it doesn't sound like a Trump deal. Mm-hmm. Left Americans behind. And he's just absolutely right with what he's his take on what he's seeing. These are probably the best of what you're going to get. The rest of them are probably dead. The rest of the ones we're seeing now have been tortured beyond anything that anyone could ever even believe. The guy comes out, wants to see his wife and kids. They were slaughtered back in October. The guy didn't even know. I mean, it's just unfathomable things we could never even imagine how it feels or going through. And you can just tell he's just had it. He's just had it. And so has the prime minister. Benjamin Netanyahu has had it. And I suspect a lot of what we're hearing from the president was, and these feelings were shared when they were together just this last week or whatever it was that he was here. So my money's on all hell breaking loose, if you want to know. And I think the president's right. They're not going to do it because there is nobody. They have no value for human life whatsoever. As he said, the guy laughing, they don't value human life whatsoever. And there's probably nobody to release.
Yeah, they're probably just going to be just getting bodies at that point.
Yep.
Which is sad.
Terrible.
I mean, it's disgusting. But that's the element you're dealing with. So, hell breaking loose kind of seems like the only alternative because that's all they understand.
When you're dealing with subhuman, yes,
right.
That's pretty much all they understand. Now, what that means, and come Saturday at noon, once that comes by, I don't know what that's going to mean. I mean, he's very, very poignantly said Israel can override it, basically saying, I'm going to just tell you what I think, but the prime minister can do what he wants. I'm sure, again, they've just discussed this last week when the prime minister was here, I'm sure. But here's the rest of the president.
If the U.S. were to develop it, what did you mean by that?
We've spoken to a lot of Palestinians. They would love to leave Gaza if they could find a place to be. And I've spoken to various leaders of various countries in the not so, distant area from where we're talking about, the Gaza Strip. And I think they were very positive about providing land. What we need is land. And if we could build a nice place for people to live safely, everybody in Gaza would do it. They've been persecuted. They've been spit on. They've been treated like trash. And they would love to get out of Gaza. But until now, they never had an alternative. Now they have an alternative. And as far as Hamas is concerned, you're seeing the real Hamas now with the hostages.
What is it on Gaza? You have the...
Who are you from where?
The Wall Street Journal, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Jordanian leaders coming in to see you.
Yeah.
Folks in Jordan have expressed opposition to taking in more Gazans, more Palestinians. How do you want to convince him to do otherwise?
I think he'll take. I do think he'll take, and I think other countries will take also. They have good hearts. I think they'll take.
But what about the Palestinians who just won't leave? Our team has spoken to many in Gaza.
They're all going to leave when they have a place that's a better alternative. When they have a nice place that's safe, they're all going to leave. It's a hellhole right now.
But how are you so sure? Would the U.S. force them to leave?
You're going to see that they're all going to want to leave.
Mr. President, when it comes to Saturday at noon, there's an American hostage who's still being held by Hamas right now.
Look, who knows? Are they alive? Are they not alive? But I saw the condition. When I saw the condition of the last ones that came out, and the women too, everybody. The one woman had her hand blown off because she was trying to stop a bullet being fired at her, okay? What kind of a situation is that? You saw her. I just think it's time to either you release everybody. They're not going to be alive right now, based on what I saw over the last 2 days. They're not going to be alive for long. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, it's going to be a different ballgame.
Mr. President, when you say all hell is going to break loose, are you speaking about retaliation from
You'll
Israel?
find out, and they'll find out too. Hamas will find out what I mean.
Mr. President,
they're going to find out what I mean. These are sick people, and they'll find out what I mean Saturday at 12 o'clock.
But no involvement from the U.S.
Palestinians from the West Bank, are they going to be relocated too?
Right now they're there, and I assume they want to remain there. It's different. They're there. It's never been like what we're talking about with the Gaza Strip.
So they're going to continue there? You have
no plans there.
Mr. President, regarding the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Democrats, including Elizabeth Warren, have said that by freezing it, it's getting...
All right, so they're changing subjects here, so I just want to pause it there because the president seems very clear.
Yeah,
I mean, that was pretty clear. Saturday at noon, they're going to find out.
Yeah.
He keeps coming back to it, too.
He seems fed up.
Something planned.
As he should. And not to beat a dead horse, but again, this did not seem like a deal that he would have signed off on if he was in control originally of the whole negotiation. I don't think this is a deal that he would have signed off on originally.
Well, this was the deal that they said the Biden team put together back in last spring. And then they proposed it, I think, in May, and then it just kind of laid there because nobody wanted to do anything with it. And then, of course, it got resurrected after he won the election.
Yeah. All right, Aaron, that's good. We'll go back to it if we have some time before the end of the show. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he's setting a very hard deadline of Saturday at noon. And it is interesting. I do pay attention to the caveat he puts out there to say Israel can override it. Kind of get, certainly not an out, but certainly saying I'll defer to the prime minister here.
Right.
In what he feels, although I suspect their feelings are somewhat on similar planes.
Yeah, you would think.
You'd hope.
Yeah. All right, let's do, while we have a time, a little news. Actually, before we do that, we'll do news when we get back.
All right.
I did say that kind of like the Rod Blagojevich, is that his name?
Blagojevich.
Blagojevich. Trump in the New York Post tonight, Trump DOJ tosses out New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Historic bribery case, agrees with Dem charges were politically motivated by Biden administration over the migrant crisis. The Justice Department ordered Manhattan prosecutors Monday to dismiss the historic bribery case against Mayor Eric Adams, citing that the charges by the Biden administration were nothing more than politically motivated and hampered his ability to combat the migrant crisis in New York. The new DOJ under President Trump instructed the Southern District of New York to dismiss the case without prejudice, meaning charges could be refiled in the future, sources said. You are directed, as authorized by the Attorney General, to dismiss the pending charges against Adams. Acting Deputy Attorney General Emile Beauvais wrote in a letter obtained by the New York Post. The letter notes independent reasons as to why Adams' case was being tossed, including that the case was retribution for him speaking out against the Biden administration for its handling of the migrant crisis. And, of course, we've seen the mayor going back to the Al Smith dinner and to the UFC at Madison Square Garden.
Trying to do anything he could to get into Trump's orbit there. Say, hey.
I don't think he had to do much pleading with the president after what he went through the last 4 years. So, all right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this. Chat. What's going on, chat?
What's going on is you have two reads here.
Friend, I can't do reads. My back.
All right, I'll send him to Delgado.
Delgado said he'll do them. Dave Syverson's going to do them.
He's backing out on the reads.
On X. I'm backing out.
Hit the road.
Damon, Farmer Brooke is asking about your hat size.
My what?
Your hat size.
10-gallon.
This is an 8.
It's not that bad.
Why is he sending me a new beaver, a black one?
Whoa.
Or is he sending me a live chicken? Which one?
He didn't say.
What came first, the chicken or the hat? Well, you see, you never know, Big Dick. How's those cigars? Did you smoke any for the Super Bowl or no?
No.
No? Oh, no. You
I could barely walk.
The game. Oh.
Couldn't enjoy a cigar.
Did you go to the party? No, you stayed home?
No, I went to the party.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Cried in the corner. People at the party must have thought, man, this guy's
worse than normal.
Oh, God. Aleve. I took...
You couldn't leave well enough alone. Yeah.
I'm running on about 4,000 milligrams of ibuprofen a day, and it's doing nothing.
God. Your liver's on vacation now. Check it out.
Well, maybe not that much, but.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Well, sound like the blues. 17 past the hour. Let me talk to you about our friends at Patriot Mobile. While we may have won this election, the fight to restore our great nation is only beginning. Now's the time to take a stand. Patriot Mobile's leading the charge as America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Patriot Mobile offers a way to vote with your wallet without compromising on quality or convenience. Patriot Mobile isn't just about providing exceptional cell phone service. It's a call to action to defend your rights and freedoms. With Patriot Mobile, you'll get outstanding nationwide coverage because they operate on all 3 major networks. If you have cell phone service today, you can get cell phone service with Patriot Mobile, and you can get a coverage guarantee. But the difference is every dollar you spend supports the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, and our veterans and first responders. Switching is easy. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service support team will help you find the perfect plan. Go right now to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month of service with a promo code RAV, R-A-V. Switch to Patriot Mobile today. Defend freedom with every call and text that you make. Visit patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT. Well, have you seen the news from economists forecasting a depression, not a recession, a depression by the year 2030? Well, we're in the perfect storm as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point with the largest generation hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. Pair that with our growing national debt, rising cost of living, and we've got a huge problem on our hands. So what are you going to do now to protect your family for the future? Well, gold, which I believe today hit an all-time high of $2,900 an ounce. Gold is a safe haven in hard economic times, and Birch Gold makes it easy to diversify a portion of your savings into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket to do it. Protect your future today. Text America to the number 989898. Get your free information kit on gold and a copy of The Ultimate Guide to Gold in the Trump Era with a foreword written by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, only information. Birch Gold's earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. You can count on Birch Gold as well. Text the word America. Send it to the number 989898. Do it today. See if gold is right from you with our friends from Birch Gold. 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use. Slickster's got sports. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D, we haven't done this in a while. Big rodeo that wrapped up in Fort Worth, Texas. You got the right hat on tonight. Wrapped up from Texas, Dickey's Arena. We're at the final for all of these bareback riding. Just bear with me as I scroll down on these. But the final on the bareback riding was, let's see, Jacob Lee's 88 points on J.J. Barr's All Pink. Picked up $4,000 there. Steer wrestling final. Come on, here we go. Jesse Brown, 3.6 seconds, $20,000. Nice pickup there. Team roping. Whew. Tanner Tomlinson and Travis Graves, 4.9 seconds. Saddle Bronc, final win there went to Cade Bruno, 92 points on J.J. Barr's Straight Moonshine, 20 grand right there. That's a Woodford Reserve for you. Tie down roping. Get to that one now. Chad Mayfield, he's a good one. 7.6 seconds. He won 20 grand there. And barrel racing, of course, that's my favorite event, the barrel racing. We love the ladies on that. Andrea Busby, 16.16 tenths, $20,000 for her. And last but not least, bull riding. That's the granddaddy of them all at the rodeo. Maverick Potter, 89.5 points on Sutton Rodeos. Mr. Demon, not to be confused with Mr. Damon, $20,000. Total payout on this rodeo, Big D, $793,998 buckaroos. Big bucks there, that's for sure. And wow, good stuff. The rodeo wrapping up. We'll keep up. Hopefully, there'll be more rodeo this year. I'm looking forward to that, but we shall see. Now, getting into some other stuff here, Big D, let's talk about the Super Bowl. We know the president was there. Well, Trump blasts NFL kickoff rules in post-Super Bowl message. Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart. President Donald Trump appears to have had a great time at Super Bowl 59, but as the dust settled on Philly's big win, the president did have one gripe about the league's changes to its kickoff rules. With Eagle fans dancing in the stands at Caesars Superdome and all across America, Trump turned to his Truth Social account to bash the NFL's rules. The worst part of the Super Bowl by far was watching the kickoff, where as the ball is sailing through the air, the entire field is frozen stiff. College football does not do it and won't. Whoa, whose idea was that to ruin the game, he wondered. The new dynamic kickoff rule, well, we all know about it. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but it's, where they can't, it's a touchback at the 20-yard line would occur if the ball touches the ground or player in the landing zone rolls beyond the goal line and down in the end zone. The players can't start moving until the ball's actually, into the air, into the end zone. It's ridiculous. So the whole rule is crazy. It appears that returns did increase after the change. According to the NFL, there was nearly a 33% increase in returns during the 2024 regular season, but many fans still don't like the rule, and Trump is one of them. This is not the first time Trump has questioned the league's kickoff rules. In September of last year, he blasted the rules, saying, "I can't believe the NFL is effectively getting rid of the always exciting kickoff return. Such an exciting part of football. What are they doing? The beginning of the end." I know he's not a big fan there of Goodell. I know that, President Trump. They were speaking earlier, but just wanted to get that
Is
story
there anybody that is?
No. Yeah, I tell you, I don't know how in the world is he still there. You really got to wonder. Anyway, talk about a forever president. That's a wrap in sports, though. Big D, back to you.
All right, Slick. Speaking of,
how can you bash that?
Speaking of people that no one's really fond of, here is 82-year-old Mitch McConnell leaving the Capitol today.
Oh, there you go. A little Dianne Feinstein-ish look to him.
How are you feeling, Leader McConnell?
Is that his body making that sound? They gotta lift him up.
Wait, you gotta
How are
be
you
kidding
feeling,
me.
Leader
And
McConnell?
toss him into the back of this.
Have a van for this guy?
Yeah. Just throw the cadaver in there. Let's go. Ugh. These are the worst people in the world.
Throw that in the car, too.
Just throw it in the garbage.
I mean,
wow.
I think most people know how I feel about this guy.
He should retire.
I mean, just
come on.
Is there ever a time where enough's enough?
No, not for them.
Power.
I mean, that is just crazy. Like, have some dignity, man. Have some dignity. Spare the rest of us, and just go away. But they just can't.
No, they almost act like they're royal. Like the royal family. They act like that. There was another guy, 76-year-old Democratic Congressman John Larson, suffered a Mitch McConnell-esque episode while speaking on the House floor today. This from Raw Alerts. They've got the feed from C-SPAN here, and there he is. And he freezes for nearly a minute, just standing there. Doing nothing. Amazing. But these people won't go away. They refuse to. And the idiots that keep voting for them, you only have yourselves to blame for all this stuff.
Did you say there's a clip or something? Or
yeah,
no?
There's a clip on Raw Alerts.
Oh, no, I'm saying you're not playing one, though. We don't have it.
No, we don't have it.
Oh.
No, it literally was breaking news. It just happened that they posted.
And who is the guy again?
The guy's name, he is John Larson.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some more news and sports when we get back, live from Studio 6B right after this.
Looks like he's a Democrat from Connecticut, too.
A moist heating pad? No, seriously.
You're kidding me, right?
No.
It's way beyond heat and cold.
Dude, it can give you some.
I got a hot tub that's 105 degrees. It doesn't. Saturday might as well be. Doesn't matter.
You got to ice it.
I got a heating pad directly on it. Doesn't matter. I put ice on it. Doesn't matter. Ice makes it worse. Yep. Ice locks up just everything.
Because you got to shrink it down.
Just takes a couple of days.
It's going to take at least a week, probably.
Ugh. You've been good. You haven't had this
I'm
problem.
telling you, it's a miracle. The fact that I'm here is nothing short of a miracle he worked today in an hour and 20 minutes to even get me walking around.
Did he do his Miyagi on? No? Miyagi?
No. Have you ever had it bad enough where you get the vest? The jack you up vest?
You mean the thing that goes around here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he jacks it up?
Yeah.
Under your arms?
Yeah.
And it just lifts your spine?
Yeah.
I said, Gary, if it didn't look so ridiculous, I just keep it on. Let me just wear this.
Then you'll be walking around look like Harry when he wears his vest.
I look like Iron Man, but I don't even care. Just let me keep this on. I feel this is the best I felt in 3 days with this stupid thing on.
It's heavy.
Oh yeah, it was so damn tight. It was going to save my back, and I was going to die from not being able to breathe.
Did we get any super chats?
Wait, so he put the same thing on you that he put on me, and it fit?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
That's a life preserver.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Slightly smaller frame than friend.
Yeah, you're like a little wussy girl.
I can't believe
right, Aaron? Thank you.
What are you talking about, Aaron? He's taking a stab at you too because he said you're girl. She said girl.
She'll whip your ass, and I got my money on her.
Oh, big time. What are you kidding? Absolutely.
Oh, bring it.
Bring it. Oh, bring it. Look at some Delgado over here. Cage match.
Okay, you guys got it from here?
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Say goodnight.
See ya.
Say goodnight to the audience.
Say goodnight to the audience.
Esteemed
good night, audience. I'm going
His
home.
back is killing him. He can't. He's
got to go.
Can't sit.
He's backing out early. Yep. Yeah. That's all right.
Shut up.
You coming back tomorrow night?
If I feel like this, no.
Oh, man.
If Paul was here tonight, I would not have.
Nope.
All right, Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Monday night. Welcome to the program. Damon had to leave. His back is killing him.
Yeah.
He can't move. Well, he's moving, but very slowly. So he'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully he'll be feeling much better. In the meantime, Slick and I will take you into the final last two segments of the show. But jumping back into some news, Donald Trump, we were playing some of the press conference that he was doing while he was signing the executive orders today. This was one clip that got my attention. I don't know if you had a chance to see this, Slick. This is cut number 4. Of course, while he's doing his thing, he signs the executive orders, then he opens it up to the press, and he starts taking questions. This comes from a Huffington Post reporter. This is cut number 4. Check this out.
The Vice President suggested that if the Supreme Court rules in a way that you don't like, they can just enforce it by themselves. Do you agree with that?
I don't know even what you're talking about. Neither do you. Who are you with? Who? Oh, no wonder. I thought they died. Are they still around? I haven't read them in years. I thought they died. All right, go ahead.
So there
you know what? He's right, though. He really, I mean, the way they've treated him, he's right.
Yeah.
I'd say the same thing.
As a matter of fact, I think I was wrong on the setup. I think he's actually on Air Force One at that point. Yeah. They were doing I guess he signed an executive order there as well regarding the Gulf of America. So they did it while he was on the plane.
He's so busy signing those orders, he's got to roll over. I'm surprised he wasn't signing them at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. So, you had that happen.
Crazy.
And then I don't know if you saw this as well. This is breaking news. Now, we know that President Trump has ordered the declassification of all the JFK, the RFK, and the Martin Luther King files. Well, this coming from Axios says the FBI finds secret JFK assassination records after the Trump order. Listen to this. The FBI just discovered about 2,400 records tied to President Kennedy's assassination that were never provided to a board tasked with reviewing and disclosing the documents. What a surprise. Maybe they were in Joe Biden's garage. The still secret records are contained in 14,000 pages of documents that the FBI found in a review triggered by President Trump's January 23rd executive order demanding the release of all JFK assassination records. The discovery, 61 years after Kennedy was killed in Dallas, follows decades of government reluctance to release all documents related to the assassination, which fueled a mountain of conspiracy theories. The existence of these new documents was just disclosed last Friday to the White House when the Office of the Director of National Intelligence submitted its plan to disclose the assassination records under the Trump order. So there you have it. More stuff being found. The discovery of these records on one of the most scrutinized events in U.S. history is likely to raise questions about the procedures for vetting and releasing information that happens across the entire government. According to Jefferson Morley, an expert on the assassination and vice president of the nonpartisan Mary Farrell Foundation, the nation's largest source of online records of Kennedy's killing, says this is huge. It shows the FBI is finally taking this seriously. So there you have it. The FBI is finally saying, let's respond to the president's order. It's about time.
Yeah.
Instead of keeping the secrecy going on. So there you have it. More news is going to continue to come out. And then once they have a chance to review this stuff, we'll see if there's anything that's groundbreaking or, kind of points us into the direction of what people have been led to think about what happened during the assassination.
I'm still wondering, what we're going to actually get,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I don't know. I just don't know. It's very curious. I can tell you that. I'm waiting with bated breath on this one.
Well, don't wait too long because you probably suffocate yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you caught this as well. Donald Trump, of course, was busy firing more people today, Slick.
Oh, of course. The beat goes on.
And the beat goes on. President Trump earlier today removed the director of government ethics, the Office of Government Ethics.
Saw that.
The independent agency responsible for overseeing ethics, rules, and financial disclosures for the executive branch. OGE has been notified that the president is removing David Homotima as the director of OGE. OGE is reverting to an acting director. He was the former director, now being that has been fired, appointed to a 5-year term by former President Biden. He was confirmed in the Senate in November of 2024. He only had the job for, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 months.
Yeah, a cup of coffee.
He only got sworn in December the 16th. The website officially listed Shelley Finlayson as the acting director, but Trump signed a document Monday tapping Doug Collins to replace him. So now the former member of Congress and current Department of Veteran Affairs Secretary is going to be the acting director of OGE. And again, it comes after Trump fired 17 inspector generals from their roles as watchdogs without explanation just last month. The White House did not respond to a request for comment on the firing, so you've got that going on. There's always something going on with the Trump presidency. He's got lots
3
of different
weeks.
things.
I mean, just
3
incredible.
weeks.
He's not making any haste.
No, and it's fast and furious, and
it's needed. He wants to get it out.
Yeah.
It's like an infection.
Like they've said.
Get it out, baby.
Flooding the zone with just continuous, because it gives them an opportunity, at least the administration, to just keep moving forward, but also doesn't let the Democrats, because right now they're trying to focus their fire on Elon Musk. Why? Because he's unelected.
What's his qualifications?
Right. He's not been appointed. He hasn't been approved by the Senate. He doesn't need to be. He's been appointed by the president to a non-confirmation. He's not a cabinet position.
Nope.
So he's just heading up this agency to tackle waste, fraud, and abuse. And of course, they were out and about. Here's cut number one. Everybody's favorite hair replacement representative, Jamie Raskin. Cut number one, talking about, now they've gotten to the point, Slick, where we're going to have to sue Donald Trump. We're going to have to sue the government. They're threatening to shut down the government because they don't want to fund anything that Trump is doing. So here's cut number one, Jamie Raskin with the rat on his head. Check this out.
What I'm thinking about and talking to, my friends at Democracy Defenders and other lawyers about is, could there be a nationwide class action lawsuit to follow up on last week's victories against Musk, against the Trump administration for this breach in computer security and the data of all American taxpayers? It could be a class action suit on behalf of all Americans. If the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers want to opt out and they don't want their part of the money for the contamination of their data, fine, they can opt out. But really, it's a suit on behalf of everybody because that's our information. Right. It doesn't belong to Elon Musk or his little midnight crew. It belongs to the people, and the government has to hold it in trust. Now, there's specific statutes which say that information can only be accessed for tax purposes, for the purposes of the internal revenue system, and for no other purposes. What are they using that information for?
Yeah, we're using the information to find out who the crooks are. That's what it seems
why would you do that?
And he's going to file a class action lawsuit on behalf of the American people, most of which approve of what President Trump has appointed Elon Musk to do. Here's another freak out. This one coming from Maxine Waters, who just can't seem to understand what's going on. She's mad at Elon Musk because they told her she's mad at Elon Musk. And her gigantic bobblehead can't stop babbling about Elon Musk and South Africa. I don't know what that has to do with the current Doge investigation going on at the Consumer Protection Affairs Division. But here she is, cut number 8, babbling on with her gigantic head, Maxine Waters.
Elon is over in South Africa, threatening Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, and telling him, we are coming in here, I'm going to create a whole battery factory. But you guys work to get something, I believe in your constitution, that says that the black South Africans and people who we fought for to get rid of apartheid now can have 30% in all of the foreign businesses that come in. Elon Musk said, I'm going to build a battery factory. I want you to get rid of that 30%. And so we said no. And so I've talked with the ambassador from South Africa. They're fighting. They're struggling. But guess what happened? Trump announced that they're going to get rid of all the foreign aid if he doesn't do it.
See, it's all about the money, Slick.
Oh, yeah, of course. Where's her piece of the pie?
And
That's all
if
she
you
cares
notice,
about.
the person behind her was holding a CFPB sign. Of course, she's making her South Africa plea in front of the protest that happened at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau today. Because guess what? The new CFPB chief closed the headquarters and basically told all staff they must not do any work. In other words, looks like they're going to be shutting this down. The new directive from the CFPB's acting director, Russell Vaught, on Monday comes after the agency closed the Bureau's Washington headquarters for the week and told staff to work remotely. No reason was given for the building's closure, but I think we all know what it has to do with. It seems like representatives of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency team were seen at the headquarters on Friday, according to a union representing the staff there, and have been granted access to key systems, stirring concerns about the fate of the vast amount of sensitive information maintained by the Bureau. So they'll be, I guess they're running their algorithms through their stuff to find all the fraud, waste, and abuse. And of course, the Democrats do not like it.
No, they don't want that. They're going to get exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't like that at all. That's pretty obvious to the American public now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. They're even threatening not to fund. They want to shut down the government. The Democrats are finally on record saying they want to shut down the government at this point. It's kind of funny. Lastly, I've got here for you cut number 7. This is going back a little bit to the late great Milton Friedman. When you talk about government waste and government spending, taxes and inflation, just look up Milton Friedman. There's some great stuff. The best, I think, that you'll find out there on social media or where have you is going to be his interviews with Phil Donahue, the former talk show host.
Yep.
Just great stuff from Milton Friedman. Here he is, cut number 7, talking about government spending and what it means to you.
Keep your eye on one thing and one thing only, how much government is spending, because that's the true tax. Every budget is balanced. There is no such thing as an unbalanced federal budget. You're paying for it. If you're not paying for it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing.
Yeah, there you have it. Basically, you're paying for it. The bottom line is, Slick, that no matter if it's spending, taxes, inflation, basically the American people are paying for it.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
We're servicing the debt.
Yeah, and it's amazing that something that simple just gets lost on people. But as you can see, the Democrats, they're too busy trying to kill the messenger instead of listening to the message, which is we're identifying all this waste, fraud, and abuse. If you were to actually do your job and say, hey, we should be making sure we get this out to the people, then maybe you might get elected back to your office. Hopefully not, because it seems like all you want to do is obstruct, make sure nobody finds out about the waste, because all that money could be leading back to you and your bank accounts.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. Again, that's the Doge team doing their magic. And today's target was the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They are now closed for the week. We'll see what comes of that. We'll take a quick break. Final segment of the show coming up. We'll do some more sports to close things out. Just need you guys there. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
Super chat from the YouTube, Rick. We got one from Kenya H. Good follower. Yep. I picked the Eagles because Trump has landed the Eagle, praying for a healing and you're back, Damon. And I want this chat to know I love them always. Keep praying and for Trump, his family, our country, always. We are winning, guys. God's plan. Nice chat. $20. Nice super chat there from Kenya H. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Let me jump over. Oh my goodness, look at all these. Look at all these. Oh my goodness, so many people in the Rumble chat. I can't keep up. Then again, I haven't looked in the last 2 segments. Sorry.
Oh, we're busy. We had a little off tonight.
Yeah, Damon had to leave. His back was just killing him.
He couldn't
even sit down.
Honestly, I give him credit. He was a trooper because I didn't realize how bad he was. I got in the show a little bit late, but the guy was in awful pain. awful pain. So he championed out as long as he could, but he might be down for a day or two. Feeling he might be doing the show from the house tomorrow if he's doing it at all.
Yeah. RD Bull, you are correct. The Uniparty is they're being exposed. They're being found that they're just suckling off the teat.
They don't like it.
Skeetmans is in the chat. Rumble chat. Let's see. Where's Joe? Just a joke.
Poor Joe.
Yeah, the Democrats are just signing on to... And I do have a clip of James Carville talking about how stupid Democrats are.
Gotta play that.
It's not one of his classic ones. He doesn't curse.
Oh, he's not going.
Pablo Cruz won. What happened to Michael Steele? He's always been a Democrat. Always been a Democrat. He was a terrible, terrible RNC chairman. He was horrid. He was bullocks, as they say. Or that guy sitting there ate Michael Steele and just looks like him. I don't know. People are saying goodbye to Damon. Good night, Damon. See you later. Don't let the door hit you.
Poor guy.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Monday night. If you're just joining us, if you're not in the chats, then maybe you didn't see that Damon left for the night. His back was killing him. He will be back tomorrow night on the show. So, send him give him a break. Cut him some slack. He'll be back tomorrow night. In the meantime, Slick and I are going to finish up. We'll do some sports in just a little bit, but I don't know if you caught this, Slick. I think you remember last week. Once CNN found out about one of Doge's members, his screen name for one of his accounts was Big Balls.
Big Balls.
Yes, Big Balls. Big Balls got famous all over mainstream. All over mainstream news, mainstream media. Here they are. Here's a cut of all of them just going big on the Big Balls themselves. Cut number 6. Check this out.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Big Balls.
Big Balls. Big Balls who work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
In the one case of the Big Balls kid, a literal teenager.
Big Balls online, Big Balls here, that Katie's talking about. A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls. So that would be one way that we could refer to him.
Young computer whizzes, the aforementioned Big Balls.
Big Balls doesn't feel better about Big Balls, Big Balls, Big Balls in charge of American air traffic control.
Yeah. So there you have it. The the left can't get enough of saying Big Balls just so they could say it. Amazing stuff. Let's do some news now. It's Slick Rick Sports, brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. You can go to mypillow.com. Use our code at checkout, LFS6B. That's LFS6B at checkout, and you'll save a ton of money on some great stuff. Slick, what do you got for your final sports report of the evening?
Quick sweep to the scoreboard, Rick. One more shot there. NCAA men's basketball final was 85-65. Clemson down in North Carolina there. And Houston leading Baylor right now, 31-23, 3.5 to go there in the first half. NBA action, Nets in command, leading the Hornets 97-80, 3.5 to go there in the fourth quarter. Third quarter, Warriors 79-77 over the Bucks. I see Giannis is out for a while now too. They got the Thunder 97-71 over the Pelicans, 2 to go there in the third, and the Mavs and Kings tied at 61 at the half. And Virginia high school sports governing body to comply with Trump's keeping men out of women's sports. Trump signed order last Wednesday, fulfilling major campaign promise. Scott Thompson of Fox News reporting. This broke just about an hour ago. The Virginia High School League, VHSL, announced on Monday that its executive committee voted to bring its league in compliance with President Donald Trump's executive order keeping men out of women's sports. Trump signed the executive order this past Wednesday, fulfilling fulfilling one of his main campaign promises of keeping biological men out of girls' and women's sports. The order was signed on National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, which celebrates female athletes in women's sports and those committed to providing equal access to sports for all females. The VHSL, which governs high school sports in the state, will comply with the executive order effective immediately. VHL is an association comprising 318 member schools with more than 177,000 students participating yearly in sports and academic activities. So great news to see somebody complying with the order, because we know that folks in California will push them back a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And one more quick one, Rick. World Athletics moves to cheek swabs to determine female eligibility. This is one of Todd Houston of Breitbart. Yeah.
Which cheeks are they swabbing?
Good question. Well, keeping it clean here, folks. World Athletics is preparing to institute cheek swab tests for elite athletes who want to compete in female categories to make sure they are females and not transgender athletes. The move comes after the organization banned transgender athletes from playing as females back in March of 2023. At the time, Lord Sebastian Coe, we talked about him last week on the show, head of World Athletics, said, "We all will be guided in this by the science around physical performance and male advantage, which will inevitably develop over the coming years. As more evidence becomes available, we will review our position, but we believe the integrity of the female category in athletics is paramount." No truer words spoken. But since that time, World Athletics has said that there is new evidence which clarifies there is already an athletically significant performance gap before the onset of puberty, according to The Guardian. The childhood or pre-pubertal performance gap in the sport of athletics specifically is 3 to 5% in running events and higher in throwing and jumping events. New evidence establishes that athletic disadvantages associated with female body structure and physiology contribute to the performance gap, the organization said. So, Coe, like I said, they're working on these swabs. When we'll get more confirmation on which cheeks they're going to be swabbing. I'm believing the inside cheek, that would be in the mouth there. And anyway, that's a wrap in sports. Rick, back to you.
All right, thank you, Slick. And again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. As I mentioned, we do have that clip from James Carville. He's always good for a quick little laugh. But here he is talking about the stupid positions that the Democrats are choosing to die on these hills on. Men and women's sports, among others. Here's cut number 9. Here's James Carville. Check it out.
There's a plant somewhere in, quote, progressive, unquote, America that just sees how many stupid things that they can embrace. It's stunningly stupid. Both of them.
Yeah. So there you have it. I guess I was wrong. He did curse a little bit. It was just it was pre-bleeped out. So there he is. And again, it's one of those things where Democrats, it just seems all Donald Trump has to say, you know what? I like water, and they would actually come out and try to ban water and say that no one should have water because Donald Trump likes water. They are that stupid. They are that nuts. But this is the the radical left for you. And most of the Democrats are signing right on board with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you were trying to show me something?
Well, yeah, there was a plane crash in Arizona earlier.
Yes, I got it right here. Plane crash. Yeah, we were looking at this. More news is coming out on this plane crash, which involved people being hospitalized, and one person is dead because of it. Plane owned by Motley Crue singer Vince Neil.
Yeah.
Was involved in this fatal plane crash that happened earlier today, Monday, a fatal accident that happened in Arizona. According to authorities, one person was killed when the Learjet 35A veered off the runway and crashed into a Gulfstream jet on the ramp of Scottsdale Municipal Airport. In addition to the deceased, one person was trapped inside one of the planes for an extended period of time, while 3 others were taken to local hospitals for injuries. Motley Crue's manager, Alan Kovac, told TMZ that Neil was not aboard the flight, but that the singer's girlfriend, Rain, was on the plane and sustained 5 broken ribs. Her friend Ashley was also on board and hospitalized as well. They were traveling with a couple of dogs who survived the crash. The identity of the deceased has not been released as of yet. So there you have it, a plane crash. More and more, I saw a couple of other plane incidents over the last few days as well. It just seems like, I don't know if we're maybe hyper-focused on it, that we're seeing more of these things lately. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought the statistics were very low for these type of incidents.
Yeah. So you would think.
Yeah. Hey, something going on.
Yeah, you would think. So I don't know. So there you have it. Just because that story was kind of breaking as we took to the air. One final thing, real quick here, as we finish out with some headlines. Argentina's Milei follows Trump to ditch the World Health Organization. Argentina's President Javier Milei, close ally to President Trump, on the other day announced his intent to withdraw from the World Health Organization, WHO, echoing steps taken by the U.S. Commander-in-Chief. The spokesperson for Milei announced the order and said the withdrawal from the world's top health and safety agency was due to profound differences with facts and reality. No, I added that part. The United Nations organization, due to its advice during the COVID-19 pandemic that led to the largest shutdowns in the history of mankind. Milei's decision comes just weeks after Trump's, for the second time, issued an executive order to pull the U.S. out of the WHO, again citing its handling of the coronavirus pandemic. So there you have it. Just putting the final wraps on news for the evening. Again, we will be back tomorrow night. We of course invite you to join us. Till then, as always, we like to, of course, thank everyone for watching. As always, we salute our military, active and retired, our first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, Border Patrol, ICE, everybody working to make sure this country gets back on track. We appreciate you guys watching. Of course, Aaron and Fran in the booth, Slick Rick, Damon, who's on his way home, and of course everybody in the chats. We thank you for watching. Like and share the show. We will see you tomorrow night, Tuesday night, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Till then, peace.